American women have been clamoring for a place to gather and listen to men talk. Our offices are not enough. Our houses are not enough. To watch TV, are men talking 100% of the time? No. I want them to be talking more. Hello and welcome to Hysteria. I'm Erin Ryan.
And I'm Alyssa Mastromonaco.
So, Alyssa, this week, Kim Davis, the bigoted Kentucky clerk and Bump It fan club president, who was jailed and fined for refusing to issue same-sex marriage licenses after the Supreme Court ruled in Obergefell v. Hedges in 2015 that same-sex marriage should be legal nationwide. Now, she's asking the Supreme Court, to overturn their 10-year-old ruling, citing her religious beliefs about marriage being between one man and one woman. Now, Alyssa, without cheating, how many times has Kim Davis been married?
Erin, since we are talking about And Just Like That today, which featured Mr. Big, who was married 3 times, I'm going to go with 3.
You are incorrect. She has been married 4 times.
What?
4 times. The woman who thinks marriage should be between one man and one woman so hard that she wants to invalidate.
Of freedom.
Yes, she wants to take away the freedom of same-sex couples to marry henceforth. Has done it 4 times. So
4.
Yeah.
4
She
sounds like a peach.
She is. She's beautiful. She's perfect. She's got style. She's got class. She's there.
Got flair.
That's how she became the conduit for a rollback of LGBTQ rights that Clarence Thomas telegraphed was coming in 2022. Okay, Alyssa. This is going to be a butt-heavy episode. I'm just saying right now. So,
well, thank God.
Gird your loins.
Mine's in shape.
Alyssa, butt grooming-wise, I feel like conservative men fall into one of 2 categories.
Okay.
Guys that you're like, that guy does not wash his ass, right?
Okay, yeah,
Category
fair,
1.
I agree. Yeah.
Category 2, that guy definitely bleaches his asshole.
Okay.
Those are the 2 categories.
Yep.
And the guy we're going to lead news with today falls into the latter category. Over the weekend, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth reposted and praised a video on X of a Christian nationalist pastor saying that women shouldn't vote. Now let's listen to the clip.
Christchurch senior pastor Doug Wilson makes no apologies for his beliefs on God and country.
I'd like to see the town be a Christian town. I'd like to see the state be a Christian state. I'd like to see the nation be a Christian nation. I'd like to see the world be a Christian world.
Is planting a church in D.C. part of your mission to try to turn this into a Christian nation?
Yes. So every society is theocratic. The only question is who's Theo? In a secular democracy, it would be demos, the people. In a Christian republic, it'd be Christ.
A big focus of his Christian movement is on a patriarchal society where men are dominant and women are expected to submit to their husbands.
Women are the kind of people that people come out of.
So you just think they're meant to have babies?
Women are the kind of people that people come out of. I hope Pamela Brown got hazard pay for that because
she looked so uncomfortable that whole time.
I encountered her a few times when I was doing like on-air stuff at CNN.
Yeah.
Lovely woman.
Lovely woman.
Absolute class act. And I don't know what she did to get this assignment. She handled it well. She's going viral.
I appreciate she did it.
Oh my God.
We wouldn't know.
Oh my God. So yeah, that wasn't just a fringe pastor. That although he does look like he has been pickling for some time. Doug Wilson is the name of that guy. He's the senior preacher at Christ Church in Moscow, Idaho, and the worst thing to happen in Moscow, Idaho, since Brian Kohlberger. He's also the founder of Congregation of Reformed Evangelical Churches, which is an empire of over 150 churches across 4 continents. And yes, Pete Hegseth is a member of one of them. Hegseth even attended the inaugural service of the new Christ Church location in Washington, D.C. last week. Okay. Wilson has also called for the United States to illegalize sodomy and same-sex marriage again and defended slavery. And our Secretary of Defense, who, just real quick sidebar, I recently learned that Pete Hegseth grew up not far from where I grew up. He grew up in Forest Lake, Minnesota. Graduated from high school 2 years before I did.
Yeah,
we would have been in high. If I were cool, and had been invited to parties, I could have been drunkenly groped by the future Secretary of Defense. We are close to the same age. He looks terrible.
I am so much older than him.
He is you know what? That's why drinking is not good for you.
Drinking, tanning beds, generally being rotten on the inside.
He is really banking on there being some like massive anti-aging breakthrough in time to like save him from turning into literally a raisin, a like formerly somewhat handsome raisin. Anyway, not to be catty, but he deserves it. Okay, so Pastor Wilson must be really proud of Pete, who is doing what he can to make the military as exclusive and bigoted as possible, kind of all while hiding behind this like weird chicken hockey language where I'm like, what do you mean by that? Like, he really wants the military to like play up like a G.I. Joe version of toughness.
Oh, 100%.
And it
is just a facade.
And it's
That's all.
It's so corny. Like, every time I see him, I'm like, you are so corny, my dude. Like, fucking, this is ridiculous. This self-serious, like, lethality or whatever. It's like, oh my God, dude, calm down. But he does have a lot of power. He recently announced that the Confederate statue known as the Reconciliation Monument, which features toned-down depictions of slavery, will be remounted at Arlington Cemetery. This will cost taxpayers around $10 million.
Of the things to spend money on.
Statues. We should be, you know what, Pete? You could put that $10 million toward like anti-aging research or like liver rejuvenation
Cancer
research for yourself. No, I'm just saying, like, if he wants to like spend it selfishly, he could just be like, hey, researchers, figure out a way to unpickle me. Can you unpickle my guts? The monument was taken down in 2022 after an independent commission deemed it problematic from top to bottom. Hegseth wrote on X, it should never have been taken down by woke lemmings. Oh my God, dude, calm down. Unlike the left, we don't believe in erasing American history. We honor it. Okay.
by erasing it.
We honor, it is so childish and fragile that conservatives cannot confront and understand history as it happened. They're so scared of it.
And it's they literally lived through it, okay? They all survived. They all learned history in high school, and like they're still here.
I mean,
just saying.
I think the history that they learned in high school was even a little bit airbrushed.
Well, probably, but this is excavation.
Yeah. Well, and the Pentagon is currently under fire for deleting information about women and black trailblazers in the military. So, we love history. Mm-hmm. We love history that only makes white men feel good. If it makes if it hurts white men's feelings, we got to delete it, because when white men have hurt feelings, then bad things happen. Back in May, Hegseth ordered all transgender troops be removed from the military. And now we're hearing stories of what that looks like in practice. Last week, it was reported the Air Force will be denying early retirement benefits to all trans service members. They'll be separated with a lump sum payout or removed from the service. And other branches are expected to do the same thing. Yeah.
It's just repellent. They served. This is the thing. It's like this goes back. It is like the calling card of anybody who is in the GOP right now. It's like Doge. They offered everybody a buyout plan. You could leave. You'll get a buyout. Did they get a buyout? No. People who served went to Iraq, went to Afghanistan. People who have put their lives on the line for this country, and now they're like, you can go.
Also, it's
no
like
service.
Yeah, it's like
no retirement.
Do you expect the guy who famously doesn't pay people to pay you?
Exactly.
No
retirement, by the way, means no health care.
Yeah. I don't understand. And also, I thought we needed troops. Pete Hegseth is out here disparaging women in the military. Right. He's sort of clucking around like a chicken, demanding that women not be in combat, kicking trans people out. I wouldn't be surprised if this administration was in favor of reinstating a don't ask, don't tell type situation, or banning gay people from the military. It's what?
Well, according to his pastor, who, look, it's he retweeted the crazy things that pastor said, including that women shouldn't have the right to vote.
Mm-hmm.
How can you be a woman?
Alyssa, we do have the right to vote through our
Husbands,
as
right.
a household. But why? Okay, but what
Going
constitutes-
back to J.D. Vance's childless women shouldn't have the right to vote because we're not full citizens. The more children you have, you should have their proxy to vote. I mean, like, if you're a woman in the military, like, everything is intentional. Do you know what I mean? Like, he is an asshole, but they're not stupid. Like, he didn't accidentally retweet that. So if you're a woman and you are, you know, out in theater somewhere, like, what is that? I don't know.
A lot of people are sort of like missing the forest for the trees when it comes to like Trump and all that stuff. Like, he announced, the president announced that on the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, there would be like a UFC cage match at the White House.
Oh my God.
And people are like, oh, it's a distraction. Like, he's doing distraction politics. But I think if you look at all of it holistically, the Trump administration advertised and is selling and is trying to institute a power transfer from people who earned their power in a system designed to take it from them. Women, people of color, LGBTQ people, trans people. Transfer that power back to fucking loser men. It is a power transfer from people who earn their power despite it being against the odds for them to become educated, for them to become high-earning people, for them to have graduate degrees, for them to have professional careers, for them to have their own businesses, for them to be married, for them to have families. Transfer that power back to fucking loser men who the system was designed to help, but the system is now leaving behind. Like, they are so... it is so
They're not even being left behind.
Well, but it's an obvious celebration of like everything maladaptive and antisocial about men and masculinity. And I mean that like in a stereotypical way, like being violent, being rigid, being in charge, being territorial, all of that stuff, all of those traits that have been attributed to men are being celebrated and elevated. And what they're trying to do is like convince people that in order for them to access participation in society, they need to do it through men who are violent and employed by maybe law enforcement, employed by the military, who are employed by ICE. Like all of like, I sound and feel crazy talking about this, but this is literally all an attempt to like, to reinforce with steel beams a toxic version of the patriarchy that is anti-human and anti-life and anti-woman and anti-child. It is a violent, cruel ideology that they're trying to like cement into American society in a way that it'll be difficult for us to claw back. And like Hegseth and like his pastor saying like women should vote as a member of their household and like, you know, offering $50,000 signing bonuses to people without high school degrees to join ICE. Like are they required to speak Spanish? Like, how are they going to communicate with people that they're supposed? It's like it is like a DEI for dumbass losers, and it is so obvious. I wish that people would be more willing to back up and see. People voted for Donald Trump. A lot of people voted for Donald Trump because they were afraid of having a black lady as their boss. They are more comfortable with like a white guy calling them the N-word or calling them a racial slur or calling them an anti-female slur than they were calling a black lady boss. And like the malignant, awful masculinity that he has tried to elevate and center in American life is jarring because it's fucking unnatural. And that's what he's doing right now. He's trying to like, anyway, I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tear, but I just wish more people were talking about this in terms of like gender. This is all about taking power away from everyone who isn't a cis white man. Everyone who isn't a dumbass cis white man or a cis white billionaire who is like terrified of everything.
Yeah, no, well said. No notes.
All right, thank you. Yeah, but anyway, I think by the way, my husband asks me how we should vote. So I feel like there's a lot of that. I feel like that's maybe, even if they did do that, I feel like there's still a lot of households where like the woman is like the one that keeps track of certain things. And also in my house, I'm the one who keeps track of like civic stuff. So that would probably be something that I got to do. So check and mate, dude. Hysteria is brought to you by Quince. As summer winds down, I'm all about refreshing my wardrobe with staple pieces for the season ahead. You know what, Alyssa? I live in my part of the country, the hottest months are September, October. They're like absolutely like standing next to an open oven. There's like always a couple weeks in there where it's just like all the air conditioners are like peace, and at about 4 p.m. everyone just has to like lie down in their house with all the curtains drawn. It is a time of year though where sometimes in the night it'll get cool and then the day will get really hot. So I need like layers. I need layers.
Yes.
I need layers in light colors. I need layers in light fabrics. I need layers that I can throw into the washing machine and not worry about ruining. And that's why I love Quince. Think chic cashmere and cotton sweaters starting at $40. A cotton sweater, love a cotton sweater for a cool evening.
I see. And by me, we start getting a little chilly, a little crisp the end of September. So I'm looking at some new colors for the Mongolian cashmere crew neck.
Ooh, such a pretty piece of clothing.
And it washes up so nice.
It washes up so nice. And sweaters start at just $40. They have washable silk tops. I love a silk top. Denim pants, timeless styles you'll keep coming back to. The best part, everything with Quince is half the cost of similar brands. So you can literally, re-up a weekend wardrobe. You can do a weekend wardrobe refresh where you have like all the layers you need for the different changes, blah, 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 blah. Like
ready to go.
You are covered. By working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middlemen, Quince gives you luxury without the markup. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. Which Quince pieces made it into your wardrobe lately, Alyssa?
Oh, you know what? I actually like the Bella Stretch Relax Straight Jean. I have a horrible time finding jeans. I love these. They like... You know how sometimes you just like look at the jeans in your closet and you're like, I don't know, am I going to get those on today? But for some reason, no matter what's going on with my body, they always fit. And I appreciate that. And also they wash up very nicely.
I am a sucker for cute kids' clothes. But because I've got two girls, the little one basically just wears all the bigger ones' clothes.
Yeah.
Like I just kind of, I'm constantly like hauling tubs. I cannot resist a cute baby outfit though. I cannot. And like Quince has allowed me to indulge that a little bit, like a cashmere sweater for a 1-year-old. Like you can get a cashmere sweater for a 1-year-old, like a little button-down thing.
Adorable.
To pop on over a dress. And it's like...
And if they barf on it, you can wash it.
If they barf on it, you can wash it. It costs a reasonable amount of money. Like not an amount of money where I'm like, she's not going to be able to wear this in 3 weeks and I just spent...
Right. It's only for nice.
Exactly. But it's like, with the... I'm like already thinking ahead to the holidays and it's like, I want like a little sweater for her to wear over like her Christmas dress for the pictures. And
cute.
Quince has like really cute kids clothes too. So if you haven't checked that out, if you want to get your kids something like nice, cute, versatile, washable, affordable, definitely check out Quince. Elevate your fall wardrobe essentials with Quince. Go to quince.com/hysteriapod for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/hysteriapod to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/hysteriapod.
Hysteria is brought to you by Naked Wines. Erin, ever walk into a store and have no idea what wine to get?
No. But that's why Naked Wines is good. Because I have like a very specific taste.
Me too. And I never branch out.
I know. And sometimes I need somebody that's like, okay, well, you like this one thing. Why don't you give this other thing a try?
Exactly.
And that's why I love Naked Wines.
That's why I love Naked Wines. I like when I get I get a little 6-pack. And I've said what I like about wines generally. And they've never missed the mark, even for ones that normally I'd be like, I think this is going to give me heartburn. It doesn't give me heartburn.
You know what's funny? I love white wine. It's summer, so I'm like, it's right.
Yeah.
It's white wine season, right? And like when I filled out my Naked Wines questionnaire, I was like, I like whites, but I don't like Chardonnay. And they sent me this like lovely collection of whites that were not Chardonnay.
Do you know what I got that I had never had before?
What?
A white Côte d'Aron. A white Côte d'Aron.
Ooh.
It's a revelation. It's a revelation.
They sent me a Riesling that I didn't find cloying. I like usually like
See?
like I find Rieslings to be like a little.
I mean,
bit
they're
too
very sweet. They tend to be very sweet.
Yeah, this one was like it like was sweet, but then the sweetness kind of ends really nice. It was like it's great, and they sent.
It wasn't like sucking a lollipop, which is what some Rieslings are like.
Yeah, they sent me 3 different Sauvignon Blancs from different
Yeah.
parts of the world, like New Zealand, South Africa, and I think like a Willamette Valley. Anyway,
Yeah, and I like it. I'll take a picture because I'm like, oh, I like this one. I'll take a picture so I can go back and like order
it's
it.
great. It's also, can I also say this? Like, it's really annoying when you're like, I am low stock on wine. I have to go to something this weekend. Blah, 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 blah. Like, it's always good to have like a few bottles of wine around.
Yeah.
Even if you just have someone pop over and you're like, do you want to have a glass of wine? Whatever. I don't like having to carry like bottles of liquid into the house, So I like that. I'm such a lazy bum that the box being just set on my porch is like, great. Naked brings you amazing wine straight from the winery, up to 60% less than what you'd pay in store. By cutting out extra costs like middlemen markups, winemakers can pass those savings on to you without skimping on quality. Naked Wines have been around for over 15 years and backs over 90 independent winemakers around the world to make the wine you love to drink. I just used one of my Naked Wines last night, like in cooking.
And like Ina says, you should always cook with something you would also drink.
Exactly.
So then you could have it with your dinner.
Exactly.
Now is the time to join the Naked Wines community. Head to nakedwines.com/hysteria, click enter voucher, and put in our code hysteria for both the code and password for 6 bottles of wine for just $39.99 with shipping included. That's $100 off your first 6 bottles at nakedwines.com/hysteria, and use the code and password hysteria for 6 bottles of wine for $39.99.
All right, Alyssa, speaking of men being afraid, men are afraid. The men are very afraid, and you know what that means? It's everybody's fucking problem now. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on in D.C.?
Oh, Liberation Day, Erin, it's back. On Monday, Trump declared Liberation Day for Washington, declaring a public safety emergency in the city, handing over the Metropolitan Police Department to Pam Bondi and bringing
Girl boss.
Oh my God.
She's the girl boss of the Trump administration. Sorry, Kristi Noem. It's Pam Bondi.
It's totally Pam Bondi. She's bringing 800 members of the National Guard. He's calling for a crackdown on crime in the city, likely triggered by the beating of a 19-year-old former Doge staffer during an alleged carjacking attempt last week. I would just like to flag, let us recall when Joe Biden was president and his granddaughter, remember, she was involved in a attempted carjacking. There was a shootout. He never brought the National Guard in to mobilize in the city. Just saying.
And that crime, I'm much more likely to believe actually definitely happened. I'm just going to say that.
100%. In reality, the police department statistics show a 26% drop in violent crime this year so far compared to the same period last year. And Mayor Muriel Bowser says there is not a crime spike at all. Bowser also suggested the federal government could be far more helpful by filling the 15 vacancies on the D.C. Superior Court or by providing funding for more prosecutors. Bowser did, however, pledge to work alongside the federal officials deployed by Trump. I did see a lot of people online attacking Bowser, saying she needed to stand up to him. Muriel Bowser is doing her level best. This is not your average government. Trump actually does control it, and she is just trying to make sure that the people who are now need the cops the most, who will be the most afraid to call the cops, have some advocate for them still existing. On the first night of Trump's rule in the city, officers arrested 23 people, according to Caroline Levitt from The Podium. Now, Erin, you may be wondering, can he really do this? Can Trump federalize the Metropolitan Police Department? Yes, technically, under Section 740 of the 1973 District of Columbia Home Rule Act, but only for 48 hours before approval from Congress is required. Now, there's no specification of what the rules are for when Congress is in recess, which it will be until September 3rd. Even with approval from Congress, he can only federalize the police for 30 days, but Caroline said he may need longer.
Can I just say, during his press conference when he announced that he was federalizing the Metropolitan Police Department and basically like invading Washington, D.C., you could tell he was reading, what section it was
totally.
and what law it was. It's like, who is writing these statements? Like, I don't think that Trump is really driving the bus. I think he's sitting there, like, pretending to turn the wheel.
Well, he has the staff secretary guy who hands him the proclamations, and he usually makes that guy give a primer before he even starts talking to be like, what is this about?
Yeah.
And he tells him, and I can't
really,
imagine.
I mean, I'm like, he's really sounding tired. He sounds kind of like a fascist Garrison Keillor at this point. Like, he's giving us, like, the news from, like, Lake Wobegon, but, like, in this really, like, fucked up, militarized hellscape. And also, like, Alyssa, do you think it's a coincidence that L.A. and D.C. are two of the largest American cities with mayors that are black women?
They are very blue. They have black women. I'm telling you, this is just one of many. DC is not going to be the last city that he sends the National Guard to.
Well, I bet we can predict what the next city will be by taking a look at who, what major cities have black female mayors.
But also, don't leave New York City out. I bet you New York City is on the list.
Yeah, but I feel like him and Eric Adams have like a okay thing going on right now.
He and Eric Adams may be okay, but he's obsessed with Zohran Mamdani. Right. So I think that's also, maybe he waits a little bit. Maybe he waits until after the election in November. But he is taking this dictator power out for a spin.
I just want, first of all, I think big balls, I think it's really funny if you like read into the big balls crime.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever, he doesn't have a name. His name is Big Balls until he dies and his grave becomes a Big Balls themed toilet. He was allegedly beat up by like one male and one female, and they think they were both 15-year-old kids, and one of them was a girl. So like Trump is literally invading DC because some like 20-year-old was like beat up by a girl. Right?
Right. And he sits there and he says, oh, and like DC's a toilet. Everything that he said is just so incredibly pathetic and so dangerous. And everyone who's there now says it's actually quite scary. And you go to sleep at night and it's like, mini series that we watched when we were little kids growing up about like what would happen if someone invaded America. Mm-hmm. My friends told me they go to sleep and there are drones and helicopters overhead. And especially like a generation of us that remember 9/11 and lived in DC, like it is just, you can't help. You wake up in the middle of the night and you hear something like that. You're like, oh my God, what's happening? And it's like, oh, the president threw a tantrum. That's what's happening.
The president is like, it's really frustrating to watch the news about this. Like, it reminds me of that scene in the first episode of this season of South Park when it cuts to the 60 Minutes anchors and they're all like, oh geez, like they're all scared. I feel like when I'm listening to like even NPR where it's like, you just got federal funding taken away, just go ham, guys. You don't need to be scared
There's nothing
anymore.
left.
Yeah, just fucking tits out. Like, just who cares? You don't have to suck up to him anymore. But I feel like I'm listening to a lot of news reports and they're like, well, the president says crime is up, but it's not. I don't know. And it's like, why can't people just call it out for what it is? The president is a reality TV show producer, and his reality TV program is The News, which is on 24 hours a day. And so he is like sitting there producing the news. Like, here's what I think would be interesting to watch. My people want to watch me invade a city that is majority black, and my people want to watch me like get into it with another black female mayor. Like, that's what's happening.
That's what's happening. None of it's collaborative. Muriel Bowser was not at the press conference he held, which is like all you need to know. And like the crazy thing is, it's this narrative they keep trying to spin that the Democrat cities with Democrat mayors are cesspools. And it's like, do you know the day of the shooting at the NFL headquarters in New York City, something that was buried was a press conference that Jessica Tisch, the head of the NYPD, did a couple hours before that, which said that gun crime was at the lowest rate since it was recorded.
Okay.
New York. Like,
but like, why are we even like repeating his pretextual excuses for doing this? Like in LA, when like they were sending troops to LA, it's like, oh, there's riots everywhere, and it's like, no, there's fucking not. There is not. There's literally
and it's like
not.
The point that you made, there are so many riots that JD Vance came 2 weeks later on vacation.
Oh, which by the way, I heard some inside info from somebody else who was at Disneyland on the day that he was there. Apparently, they were shutting down rides so that him and his family could go on them by themselves. Middle of the fucking summer, people had probably like saved up for this trip because it's not cheap to like travel to Disneyland, right? Like
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. He knew that was going to happen. That has to happen because he's the vice president. And it is why, Erin, all past presidents do things like do a temperature check and say, if we go here, are we going to ruin everybody else's good time? I cannot tell you how many times Michelle Obama's question was, if we're going to the Grand Canyon, what does that mean for other people? Or what time of day should we go so it impacts the fewest number of people because other people paid to come here? The Bushes are the people who told us to be wary of stuff like that. Like, it is something that all presidents have been very keen and like sensitive to, and he's just like Disney World in summer.
Disneyland. He should have gone to Disney World. He should have stunk up a red state. He can't stop vacationing in blue states.
But you know what? You know he can't sweat. That boy cannot handle Florida.
Oh yeah, no, he's a t-shirt in the pool kind of guy. And if you're a t-shirt in the pool kind of guy, if you're a Don Jr. moobs bearer, if you will, you get the underboob sweat as a man, which is tough to overcome, which I can sort of understand, but like just don't go to Disneyland. I don't know, like it just makes me it makes me upset. Like I go, I'm like a SoCal resident. I'm a pass holder because it's cheap if you're a SoCal resident.
Perfect.
I go like it pays for itself in like 4 visits. It's like an hour-long drive. I can go back and forth in a day. My kids love it. When you're there, for the most part, people have like really good attitudes and are like there to have a good time.
You're all in it together.
Yeah, and like that fucking sucks. You can't just come and be like a fork in the socket. Anyway, this is like whatever. This is just a shitty-ass ethos of this group. And by the way, J.D. Vance went to Ohio and had like the National Engineer Corps, Army Corps of Engineers raise the river.
Raise the river so that he could go on a boat or rafting, whatever he was doing. They had to like
in Ohio. Isn't that where a river started on fire?
It's correct. And also there's a drought. Like that's how it works, my brother.
Oh,
yes,
you
they
were
raised
just on the
water
West
level.
Coast. We have so many kayakable rivers. Are you too much of a pussy to handle like the Snake River?
Hasn't he vacationed? Where hasn't he vacationed?
He's currently on I think he's vacationed 7 to the 8 months he's been in office.
Yeah, and he's just about to go to the Cotswolds.
He is this this term's Ivanka. Remember how Ivanka was always like on vacation?
Yeah, but at
like
least she
space?
wasn't vice president.
She was
and she doesn't. And when she goes, they don't shut things down.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. God, I am nostalgic for Ivanka.
Yeah, she was like way better than J.D. Vance.
I mean, like, there's a part of me that during the first administration that was like, is she really like, is she showing up into the office and being like, Dad, don't? And he's like, all right, sweetie, I won't. Like, you know, because they were saying that she'd be this moderating factor.
Which, like, I think she was to an, like,
I mean,
as much as she could.
I mean, it's like, it's crazy because I'm realizing now that if Ivanka was in fact a moderating factor during Trump 1.0, it was the difference between having a chimpanzee throw poop at you, just relentlessly throwing poop at you, and having a chimpanzee rip your face off. Like she was she was keeping him throwing poop at us.
Yes.
And now he's ripping our faces off.
And now she won't get anywhere near the White House.
Alyssa, what are the odds that this honestly, I feel like this federalizing the DC police thing is a photo opportunity like everything the president does.
Right. Or just a distraction, right? Because it's so appalling. Meanwhile, Ghislaine Maxwell, it was just reported, old Jiz was, she's given some sort of work program in prison for potential early release.
She's a sex offender.
Yeah. She's not even supposed to be in like, minimum security, like Club Fed. But she is, and now they say she's getting some sort of work release program potentially, which is akin to the one that Epstein had back in Florida back in the day, where he only had to go to prison at night.
Oh my God.
So I'm just saying there are a lot of other things happening, and yes, and correct, and she is convicted of a violent crime.
We still haven't seen the whatever's in the files must be bad enough to invade DC over.
That's right. And he will keep invading places until he thinks that we have forgotten, but he doesn't understand we can walk and chew gum at the same time.
Yeah, we can be mad about a sex offender being like treated with kid gloves
and a militarized city.
Like, okay, Elizabeth Holmes, please, this is your opportunity to become America's sweetheart. Beat the shit out of her, Elizabeth.
I got to tell you though, they showed pictures of her in the prison yard too. I don't feel like she's been making the most of her time in prison. She did not look to be especially fit or anything.
That's okay. So. That's okay. Girl, high protein diet, just like drink lots of water, start the morning with like a brisk walk, get the heart rate up, eat something, do a like weight workout, and then in the evening do a little bit of cardio. Do this every day, as much protein as you can. You can get there fast. You've got a like strong frame. Elizabeth Holmes,
she does.
Please,
she's tall. I mean, taller than me.
Do prison violence, please. I am condoning it. I hereby condone.
We can't have more. We can't have more cities.
Prison violence.
We can't have more cities invaded.
Yeah. So, like, but what are the odds that this actually can stick? Because what you mentioned that it can only go for like 48 hours and then there's 30 days, but the rules are a little murky. So, like, what are the odds that Congress will actually reauthorize a continued military presence in D.C.?
I really don't know. Like, I'd like to think no, that they're going to come back and be like, Jesus Christ. Also, I can't imagine that it's not inconvenient. They've got things blocked off. My one friend told me they're just like dump trucks on her street, like as barricades. She's like, it is so both scary and ridiculous at the same time. But that a lot of the National Guard people, a lot of the National Guardsmen are just like standing on street corners like, sorry.
Oh, yeah. I read a report this week that some of the Marines that were asked
In
to
LA?
deploy to LA were like, no, fuck no, dude.
Fuck no. Like left, were like, I won't do it. They are like pooing places, I read.
Yep, they pooped in the showers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I guess that's a form of passive resistance.
Yeah.
But you can set, like, look, if you are in the Marines and you're being asked, first of all, you don't have to follow unconstitutional orders, technically. Mm-hmm. And if a lot of people were like, I'm not following unconstitutional orders, then it would become a problem, right?
Right.
Right. But courage is contagious. We just need somebody to catch it, and pass it around. Yeah. So I guess, first of all, like in terms of Congress, the like Republican majority is like razor thin.
Yeah.
And so any reasonable Republican deflections would basically make this impossible, a non-starter.
Right. And who knows? Because I saw that Marge and Laura Loomer were fighting again. So I feel like Marge cannot be counted on for certain things.
Marge. You know what?
They mad at it. The girls are fighting. They hate each other.
The girls are fighting. But I'm sure, it makes very entertaining television. Much more entertaining than the sight of like National Guard troops in the nation's capital.
In the heat of the summer.
In the heat of the summer.
Protecting people from crimes that are not happening.
Can I just say though, I bet that one of the reasons that Congress won't like extend this for past 30 days is because it's going to be a huge pain in the ass for people who work in the district.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. They're
like,
working like they're like on vacation or they're on like recess now, getting yelled at by their constituents.
Right, which means that like their staff is on vacation. Like DC is a ghost town usually in August. I mean, it was like the best time to be there because you could get stuff done. I mean, like in the White House it wasn't, but every place else it was pretty much a ghost town in August.
Yeah. I feel like, I think they're going to get back, and I feel like a lot of people in Congress are fucking divas, and they're going to be like, ugh, it took me longer to get to work than it was supposed to, or like, this was annoying to me. I couldn't find parking by my favorite steakhouse, because they all love steakhouses. I feel like eventually someone's going to just like whine about it enough, or be mildly inconvenienced enough that they're going to like call the whole thing off.
Yeah, they're going to be like, enough is enough.
Yeah. In the meantime, I feel I'm very afraid for unhoused people in D.C. I feel like we're building all of these concentration camps, and we're not really finding that many actual criminals to put into them.
Well,
and
no, it's that their whole theory is that somehow people who are unhoused made a choice, that this is by choice, and that this is just people who are lazy, and that they just need to like give them the motivation to get up, and it's just depressing. And also the people who they're putting on the streets are not the right kinds of people to help people who are addicted or have mental health problems, which is the case with preponderance of people who are living on the street. And it's all the wrong solutions to the wrong problems.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes with what I was saying about like ICE and a lot of these like violent jobs that are now like the jobs.
Also, can I just say something that no one's fucking talking about?
What?
Congress cut DC's budget. They slashed it months ago. And if you want to wonder why if there may be some issues with some social services, maybe it's because you just keep deciding what's best for DC for a bunch of people who live there like Airbnbs part-time.
Yeah. That is so true. Like, I was listening to KKK Caroline's press conference about like what the homeless people, what unhoused people can do if they're like, they can go to a shelter or they can go get treatment. Okay, you're cutting money for the shelters. There aren't enough beds, and you're cutting resources that are going to treatment. So it's like they're going to simply use the social safety net that we are in the process of actively unraveling.
Right. They cut infrastructure money. They cut they cut so much money from the DC budget. This is just, appalling. And it also goes to show you do have money. This is costing, tens of millions of dollars a day. And they have money to militarize, but not to help people, not to build better schools, not to reinforce highways and repair metro stops. And
I mean, it's very much like there's a hole in my bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. Like every single problem has a solution that they've already sabotaged.
Right.
Like, oh, well, okay, they can go to a shelter. Oh no, but they defunded the shelter, dear Henry, dear Henry. Like it is, I don't know.
Right, you're cutting school lunches and you wonder why people it's just
Wow, they don't have food. Why are people stealing?
So cynical and it's so depraved.
Yeah, people are we're cutting healthcare. Why are people flooding emergency rooms and not able to pay, and then hospitals are collapsing? It's a whole thing. Hysteria is brought to you by Honey Love. Alyssa, I went to the Magic Castle.
How did it go?
It was magical and in a castle, but beyond that, I think they made us sign an NDA.
Oh,
no, we
okay.
couldn't. You can't take pictures inside, which made me feel like I was. Everybody got dressed up. The group that I was with, we all got dressed up. I went there and I was feeling myself kind of because I never get dressed up. Wearing my Honey Love shapewear, and then I was like, "Oh, pictures aren't allowed inside."
Oh,
so nope. I felt great though. I was wearing.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, I felt great. I was wearing my Honey Love shapewear. It was I was comfortable. I could sit for the magic show, sit for dinner, walk around.
Nothing rolled down.
Nothing rolled down. Everything stayed put. It did what it was supposed to do. It's one of those things that the less you notice it, the better a job it's doing.
And it also doesn't overheat you.
It doesn't overheat.
That's a big thing. I'm very overheatable in this era of my life. And the one thing that I love about Honey Love is that you can be all tucked in and nice and smooth, but I also just don't start sweating all over the place, which I really appreciate. Really,
Yeah.
the air circulates.
The air circulates. There's nothing worse. Sweating becomes a self-perpetuating situation in the summer.
Yes.
You realize you're sweating, you get nervous, you keep sweating, and it gets worse and worse and worse.
100%.
Don't have to worry about that with Honey Love. Today's episode is brought to you by Honey Love, the brand redefining modern shapewear with real comfort and serious support. And their newest innovation, Mesh Sculpt, is the ultimate summer shapewear. Usually lightweight shapewear doesn't offer much hold, and strong shapewear is very heavy, but Mesh Sculpt changes all that. It's breathable and lightweight without sacrificing its power. It keeps you cool while still delivering the sculpted silhouette you want.
Honey Love's targeted compression smooths and shapes exactly where you want it to and eases up where you don't. It works with your body, not against it. Plus, thanks to flexible boning on the sides, it stays in place. No rolling, no shifting, no awkward adjusting mid-conversation. With lingerie-inspired details, Honey Love pieces are meant to be seen. So whether you're dressing up for a night out or just feeling yourself in your go-to sundress, Honey Love has your back, your curves, and your comfort covered all season long. And here's the best part. For a limited time, you can save 20% off your entire order with our exclusive link, honeylove.com/hysteria. Support the show and start your year off right by checking them out at honeylove.com/hysteria. Treat yourself to the most comfortable shapewear on earth and save 20% off site-wide at honeylove.com/hysteria. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off honeylove.com/hysteria. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Experience the new standard in shapewear with Honey Love.
Hysteria is brought to you by Ritual. When have you felt guilty for not filling your plate with veggies? Have you ever had just a bad week and you're like, all I want is this thing that's...
Last night I had a pizza for dinner.
Well, pizza's got a vegetable on it, the tomato.
It's got a tomato. It does have a tomato, but in general, once I've had pizza, if I know... Here, let's put it to you this way. There are days you wake up and you're like, you know what? I am just going to have pizza for dinner tonight. It's the thing that'll get you through. And that was yesterday for me. I woke up and I was like, it's okay, Alyssa, you can just have pizza tonight.
It's fine. You got to forgive yourself. But I feel like if you're searching your mind for a way in which you had vegetables over the last several days, then you might not be getting all of the vitamins
probably
and minerals
not.
that you need from your diet. That is why having a multivitamin that you can trust, that you rely on, that you take every day is really important. For me, that is Ritual's Essential for Women 18 Plus multivitamin. It's not exactly a salad in a pill, but it's formulated to help you fill key nutrient gaps that you might not be getting enough of from your diet of pizza, Alyssa.
Yeah, well, that's why, Erin, I take my Ritual 18 and over every morning when I have my coffee, because unlike other vitamins that would give me stomach aches, Ritual digests real easy for me, so I can just have it with my salad. I don't have to eat it with a meal like I used to back in the day, because I would just be burping vitamin all day if I didn't. And so now it's just you take it. It's got a nice, fresh, minty taste. You're one and done in the morning. And if you're having pizza for dinner, you're covered.
I like that you can trust the ingredients in Ritual. It conducted a university-led clinical trial for their Essential for Women 18 Plus multivitamin to assess its efficacy. And the results were that it increased vitamin D levels by 43% and omega-3 DHA levels by 41% in just 12 weeks.
Which is great.
Yeah, it contains 9 key nutrients and 2 delayed-released capsules designed for optimal absorption per day. It's also third-party tested for heavy metals and Clean Label Project certified, and it is HSA FSA eligible with a seamless checkout experience. We are getting toward like the back half of the year. If you got FSA, got HSA,
use it.
Take
it out. Do it.
Use it and buy some like nice multivitamins that will help you not feel as bad for eating pizza for dinner. Instead of striving for perfect health, aim for supporting foundational health. Get 25% off your first month only at ritual.com/hysteria. Start Ritual or add Essential for Women 18 Plus to your subscription today. That's ritual.com/hysteria for 25% off. Now let's get to Sani Petty. Alyssa, finally, a podcast. There's a new podcast. We've been wanting a new podcast. We've been saying more people should have podcasts. We've been saying more conservatives should have podcasts. We've been saying more conservative women who are annoying should have more podcasts. And we're saying those podcasts should feature that annoying conservative woman with no chemistry with any of her guests. And the guests should all be people that I would not sit next to on a flight willingly.
Make it top 10.
Okay. But guess what? It's here.
I know. We saw it at the same time.
Katie Miller, Stephen Miller's lady, Elon Musk's former employee, I guess. Finally, a podcast.
Woo!
Finally, someone gave this bitch a podcast. Finally. Let's listen to the preview because it's amazing.
Hi, I'm Katie Miller. Welcome to my podcast and welcome to my living room. You may be wondering what I'm doing here hosting a podcast. It seems these days just about everyone has a podcast. For years, I've watched from the sidelines as people I know, people I respect, have hosted TV shows, radio shows, podcasts, you name it. And I thought, hey, I could do that too. And why? Because for years I've seen that there isn't a place for conservative women to gather online. There isn't a place for a mom like me, mom of 3 young kids, 4, 3, and almost 2, and a wife, and trying to do a career, eat healthy, work out. There isn't a place for a mom like me. And so I wanted to create that space where we have real, honest conversations with people across the political spectrum and across the world to get lifestyle information, news, laugh with our friends, gossip about what's going on in the world from our perspective, from that of a mom with 3 kids who's trying to make every day be the best it can, from bedtime to bath time to breakfast in the morning to getting out the door for work and everything in between. A little bit about me. I've been a communications director to senators, to a vice president. I worked in high levels of the U.S. government. And most recently, I'm concluding my time working full-time for Elon Musk. And so please join me for my podcast. We're going to do this once a week on Mondays to talk about lifestyle, what's going on, real honest conversations, none of the bullshit, with people from across the spectrum, whether that be politicians, business leaders, celebrities, musicians, artists, scientists, you name it, we're going to have it because this is life about women, for women, with men too, talking about what matters to women. And that isn't just what everyone considers a woman's issue, because what's a woman's issue? I have yet to find out. So join me every Monday for the Katie Miller podcast. Welcome.
Oh my God.
Welcome.
Alyssa, you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of, that actress, I'm forgetting her name right now, who did that viral TikTok of like the girl who bullied you in high school giving a speech at a wedding where she's like, "Dear Jeff, we've been through so much together.
If you had told me a year and a half ago today that the guy taking my order at Outback Steakhouse would one day be my husband, I would have never believed you.
Lifestyle information.
Hi, I'm a mom, and for the first time, they're letting a mom talk on camera. In this podcast, I will be presenting lifestyle information, science, help, and other things.
Gossip.
With men.
Gossip.
Also. And
because of
for
people
mostly lifestyle, I've got 3 kids. And my
3.
kids, I'm in my living room. You might be wondering.
Crisscross applesauce.
You might be wondering, why am I here? I'm here to give you lifestyle information.
Because everyone I've worked with has a podcast, and I figured I can too.
My cadence is as natural as Christy Gnome's face. I'm very normal on camera. My gesticulations are ways that it reminds me a little bit of something like not necessarily same vibes, but like Megan Stalter.
Yeah, like a parody.
Like when she's
Megan
doing,
Stalter
yes,
doing
no,
it.
she's like legitimately a gifted comedian, like hilarious. But when she does videos, it's like, it's me. I've got a podcast. I'm the most beautiful woman in America. I'm so like it just
Katie Miller in her living room.
Katie Miller.
In her own living room, Erin.
Oh, Katie Miller in her own living room.
But
Live,
the best is,
laugh.
I'm a mom. Health style information for moms like me. And I think
I'm
the
trying to
first
eat
three
healthy.
guests she has are like Mike Tyson.
You know
I
what moms
can't
love?
get enough. You know what?
One.
Do you know who loves to gossip about moms like me?
Mike
Tyson.
Mike Tyson. Do you have any lifestyle information to convey?
He does.
She
When
would-
you bit someone's ear off, what did you use? What
Mike,
maha?
what
Hold on.
fashion?
There's more. She's not in her living room anymore.
What's your situation? Are you no shoes
Oh, we're
inside?
no shoes inside, but Steven wears shoes up and down the stairs. Everywhere the kids like eat off the floor is like his shoes, and it drives me like insane.
Yeah.
This is like a Tim and Eric sketch. Like
It drives me insane.
It drives me.
Ah.
She hates him. She hates him just like we hate him. It couldn't happen to a better person. Love this for her. Love that she's got a gross husband who wears his.
for us.
I love this for us. I just personally, I can't wait to get more lifestyle information from female mom
Lifestyle.
icon, MomCon.
Lifestyle.
I just think it's funny that she thinks her podcast is going to be a place where conservative women can gather online. Can you gather online at a podcast?
I think even the girls over at Evie had to be laughing about this one.
I mean, Evie at least has some sort of a mechanized machine where it's like, this reads like a robot crapped out a women's lifestyle article. This one just sounds like a person was handed was given like 15 takes and they're really bad at extemp
and
speaking.
still couldn't read off the prompter.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
We enjoyed that mightily this week.
Every Monday we will be tuning in for
will.
gossip. The latest gossip with Mike Tyson and girls like JD Vance and Elon Musk. American women.
They're just dads. Erin,
American women
dads.
have been clamoring
for a place to gather.
Clamoring for a place to gather and listen to men talk. Mm-hmm. Please. Our offices are not enough. Our houses are not enough. It's not enough. To watch TV, are men talking 100% of the time? No. I want them to be talking more. So, yes, let's gather together at Katie Miller's podcast. That's my sanity corner this week. I'm being a real about it.
I'm not subscribing, but I am going to listen.
I'm going to be watching shared clips making fun of it.